you can play that game.
Because you are a joke. You're a joker.
How you doing, guys? This is MGTOW the Joker with another episode of mine. Today, we will be presenting factionalism is not the way. Factionalism is not the way. So here's the agenda for today. First, we're going to talk about what MGTOW is according to Koch. Second, we're going to talk about what factionalism is, and third, we're going to talk about the gynocentric society, and last but not least, I will talk about why I think is the wrong move, why factionalism I think is the wrong move. So here's the thing, according to MGTOW, according to Koch, and Koch stands for, I love that, Koch stands for Community Organized Compassion and Kindness. And this is basically a website that is dedicated to MGTOW people out there, and they actually started this website, and they got a lot of good information about it. And one of the informations I got from it is one article that is called Rebranding Yourself. This article actually, to me, in my opinion, is it gives you the sense of what being a MGTOW is all about. You can go ahead and search it out. Go into the Community Organized Compassion, Kindness, or Koch. Love that word, Koch. And then just go ahead and check it out. Read it, and you'll see what they are talking about in reality, what MGTOW is all about. I'm just going to go ahead and point a little bit of things that, they are very, very important to me, and in order for me to walk my path as a MGTOW. So basically, in the citation from the article, MGTOW, according to Koch, they say that rather than attempting to drive social and legal reforms through rhetoric and awareness and raising or protest, men on a MGTOW path are walking away. That's basically the main point of the article. Now, there's two things about this article, and actually you can go ahead and search it. That's the website down there. You can go ahead and check it out. You can read it. It's very good information about how to continue going on your own path as a MGTOW. So MGTOW approaches male marginalization. Here's how they do it. They do it either through reform. There are two types. Either to reform, which reform means the improvement or management of what is wrong, corrupt, unsatisfied, etc. The use of the word in this way emerges in the late 18th century, and is believed to originate from Christopher Wibbles associated movement, which identified parliamentary reforms as its primary aim. So reform is generally distinguished from revolution. The later means basic or radical change, whereas for reform may be no more than fine-tuning, or at the most redressing serious wrongs without without altering the fundamentals of the system. Reform seeks to improve the system as it stands, never to overthrow it. And radicals, on the other hand, seek to improve the system, but try to overthrow, whether it be the government or group of people themselves. and that's basically what reform means as per Wikipedia. So that's one way that MGTOWs do it through reform, and you can check it out. You can go ahead and that's basically what some people or some males are doing through the MRA, so to the male uh, reformist activists. So that's one way, and then the other way is through abandonment. That's most of the time what we're trying to do. We're trying to abandon uh, the whole situation, which is like saying it's based upon the thought about existentialism. And this, remember, guys, this is my way. I mean, you can do whatever it is you got. I really don't care. I'm just trying to point out some guidance as of to if you want to live a path of peace and a path of happiness. That's basically what you're trying to do. You're just trying to abandon the whole problem as a whole and become more existentialist. So through abandonment, according to Wikipedia, it says that abandonment is a philosophy. It refers to the infinite freedom of a human without the evidence of a condemning or a omnipotent higher power. Original existentialists explore the liminal experience of anxiety, death, nothing, and nihilism, the rejection of science, and above all, casual explanation as an adequate framework for understanding human being, and the introduction of the authenticity as a norm of self-identity. Try to protect the self-definition through freedom, choice, and commitment. Existentialist, though, bases itself fundamentally in the idea that one's identity is continued neither by nature nor by culture, since to exist is precisely to constitute each, I'm sorry, precisely to constitute such an identity. It is a form, it is form, sorry, it's from this foundation. It's from this foundation that one can begin to understand abandonment and forlornness. So basically, abandonment is like saying, here I am, I'm going to do what I want to do. It doesn't matter whether some other people think one way, some other people think the other way. But there's in order for you to actually live in that way, you have to understand your surrounding. So that's the second part. That's the second approach to go through the abandonment cycle. MGTOW, according to Koch, actually states that a strike on marriage is how the outside world recognizes the MGTOW phenomenon. That's how the outside world sees us. Now, here's what we say to them. This is the rejection of marriage, is how the abandoner movement summarizes itself to the outsider. So that's why I know that if you're going to choose the path of abandonment, you have to do it through the path of being an existentialist. So that is the reason why. That's the rejection of marriage. It doesn't say in the article nothing about slandering people, nothing about witch hunting people, treating people with disrespect or treating people lesser than you are. It only says that you just rejecting the marriage because we think that marriage it's basically a legal way or contract that could bind us into slavery, and that's the reason why we just reject that. I mean, you can do it any way you want it. You either can become person who wants to live by yourself, or you just want to become someone who wants to be social. It really doesn't matter as long as you do not, as long as you reject the marriage concept, then you become a MGTOW. That's basically what it says. It doesn't say anything else. Now, what is factionalism? Factionalism to me is this is according to the Merriam-Webster, is a party or a group as within the government that is often continuous or self-seeking, a self-interest partisan. Basically, factionalism defeats the the authentic purpose of the MGTOW concept to me, because you are becoming a radical and a partisan. You as an MGTOW individual supposed to abandon or reform. That's it. You don't fight the resistance. You just or either abandon it or you just reform it. That's it. And the ways that we can go by reforming the system is the way that we resist the opposition. That's basically what it is. This is what I understand what gynocentric society is. Basically, according to Webster, the definition of gynocentric is that it's a society that is dominated by or emphasizing female interests or feminine points of view. Now, and that is according to Webster. According with history, we give the right to women to vote and tend for herself, and most of them took advantage of that, and therefore the gynocentric society started. So they started this phenomenon of girl power, and they started this phenomenon of feminism, defending the girls against the big bad wolf and everything like that. In reality, you're not letting the girls do what they're supposed to do, and that's the reason why I believe we were basically given the power to the girls. Another thing is, why do I think this being factionalist or being going with the flow of being a factionalism is the wrong move? Well, basically, history repeats itself. Before 1960, we were a phallocentric society. We were a society that it was dominated by males. A phallocentric society will not work because that gives the power to only one faction. Just as we don't like to live under no one's rules, so do others. So, and it leads to hegemonic society. According to Wikipedia, the hegemonic society the hegemonic stability theory indicates that the internal system is more likely to remain stable when a single nation state. It is the dominant world power, hegemon. Thus, the fall of an existing hegemon or the state of no hegemon diminish the stability of the international system. When the hegemon exercises leadership, either through diplomacy, coercion, or persuasion, it is actually deploying its predominance of power. This is called hegemony, which refers to the state's ability to single-handedly dominate the rules and arrangement of international political and economic relationships. Reality is that to no one wants to be a slave of anyone. Neither women nor men wanted to be a slave of anyone. So in reality, what happens is that yes, although we are trying to promote freedom as a single concept for the world, not everybody wants it. Not everybody likes it. They want, they always fight the the power. So I thought of all those things, and what happened, what I, and based on my studies and everything like that, I started thinking, man, it's got to be a way to be yourself. There's got to be a way for me to be my own self and dominate myself, living in the system that we're living. It doesn't matter what type of system, whether it's follow centric or whether it's gynocentric. So, hence, you know, I started really thinking about what an egalitarian society is. So, what I find out about the egalitarianism based on Webster is that egalitarianism means equal, or equalitarianism is a trend that through the favors equality of all people. Egalitarian doctrines maintains that all humans are equal and fundamental with worth or society status, according to Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. According to the Merriam-Webster, the term has two distinct definitions in a modern English, either as a political doctrine that all people should be treated as equal and have the same political, economic, social, and civil rights, or as the social philosophy advocating the removal of economic inequality among people, economic equalitarianism, or the decentralization of power. That I can work with. Decentralization of power. And it also says that some sources define egalitarianism as a point of view that equality reflects the natural state of humanity. So, yeah, probably, and this is me thinking like crazy, yeah, probably people think that everybody is equal and they fight for equal rights and everything like that. In reality, not everyone is equal. In reality, if somebody wants to think that they are better, because I've seen that there's a lot of people who have different factions and they think that their faction is better, well, let them prove it. I don't want to prove it. I don't want to go through the problems and the fight and the things that they want to make me do. So follow-centric society will not work for me, because men will actually tend to dominate other men as well as women. Gynocentric society is the same way. Women tend to dominate other women as well as men. So no, I'm not doing it. I am not be held. I am not being. I'm not gonna be forced to be. I'm not gonna be forced to be a slave of anyone. No one, neither by men nor by women. So that's why I like egalitarians. I like the egalitarian society that we live in. Now, to be an egalitarian, you have to understand how the system works and how can you fight your way for freedom. Most guys don't understand that. They don't even want to deal with it. They just don't want to understand it, and therefore most of them they got themselves into trouble because they don't want to learn. They just want to be their own self, and they do not protect themselves against the opposition. Same happens with the girls. Most girls, they don't want to learn. They just want to be held. They just want to have the power. They just want to be comfortable and do whatever the heck they want while we build for them. No, it's not going to happen, neither for the guys nor for the girls. It's not going to happen. I want to be free. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people out there, they want to be free. I want to know how good I can be in doing things in my life. I want to know what are my strengths and weaknesses. I want to know how well can I survive, for these are needs very engraved into my heart. I want to know how well I can do providing for myself, and how well can I do teaching others to do the same. I want to have the freedom to walk away when I want. I want to know that the people who are with me because they are authentic, not because I am holding up a title or a position. If a woman will ever love me because I like women, there are other guys out there, they just don't need it, but I do need it. I like the women. I just don't like their behavior, but I like them. Then if a woman will ever love me, I want her to do so for who I am, not because I have the power over her. I don't want to impose my presence into people. I want people to notice my presence. And sorry guys, but you are just going to hate me for this. But if you think that you're worth the while in anything that you do, you're just going to have to prove it. Because for every man who wants to take over the world, there is another one that wants to be free. Game on. Who can play that game?
Because you are a joke. You're a joker.